Take a slow breath in and let it fall out gently. There is nothing you need to do right now. Nowhere you need to be. No one who needs anything from you. Just this moment. Just this breath. Just the quiet space you're beginning to enter. As you settle in, allow your body to soften a little. Feel your shoulders drop, even if only by an inch. Feel the weight of the day slowly melting down your back, like warm water slipping over smooth stones. Let your hands rest wherever they naturally want to be. Let your jaw unclench just slightly. Let your stomach relax, the way it loosens after a long breath of relief. You're safe here. You're welcome here. You can rest now. Notice the simple rhythm of your breath, the rise and the fall, like the tide coming in and the tide drifting away. If you'd like, breathe just a little deeper than usual. Not forced, just a soft invitation. Let each inhale open a bit of space inside your chest, and each exhale loosen any remaining tension you've carried with you tonight. Imagine you're sitting on a quiet porch in a small town as evening settles in. The kind of porch with an old wooden railing, still warm from the sun. The sky above is painted in soft purples and fading gold, the last light of day stretching itself thin before it disappears into night. A gentle breeze moves through the trees, the leaves rustling like they're whispering to each other. Crickets begin their nightly chorus. Somewhere far off, you might hear a single car passing down the road, unhurried, heading home. Everything around you feels slow, natural, uncomplicated. Let yourself picture this scene or simply feel it. A space where nothing is expected of you, where the world moves at a pace your heart can finally keep up with. As you rest here, you might notice the quiet echo of the day still lingering within you. The small storms, the long to-do list, the conversations that stayed with you longer than you wanted them to. Maybe your mind is still sorting through moments, a decision you had to make, something someone said, something you wish had gone differently. Or maybe it's simply the weight of being pulled in many directions. Work, family, responsibilities, the endless threads that tug at your attention. You've given so much of yourself today, more than you realize, more than you ever give yourself credit for. But here, in this gentle space, all of that can loosen its grip. You don't have to solve anything right now. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't need to carry the stories of the day into the quiet of the night. They can rest, and you can rest too. In the distance, imagine a soft sound, maybe a river moving slowly over smooth rocks, or the hush of waves rolling onto a quiet beach at dusk, each wave rising, each wave falling, just like your breath. And beneath that gentle rhythm, imagine the faint glow of warm lantern light spilling across your porch. A calm, steady light, a reminder that even when the world feels uncertain, some things remain steady, constant, guiding you home. Tonight, let yourself be held by that steady glow. Let it remind you that every step you've taken today, even the ones that felt unsure, has led you right here, to this moment of stillness. Maybe you've wondered lately why things unfold the way they do, why life twists and turns, why certain doors open and others close. You don't need to chase those answers tonight. Just let those thoughts drift like autumn leaves across a quiet lake, floating, drifting, settling, wherever they choose. Soon, explore gentle teachings inspired by Zen, teachings woven through stories, through nature, through the quiet wisdom that comes only when life slows down. But for now, just breathe. Just be here. Feel the softness gathering around you, the way night gathers around a small house in the countryside, the way shadows stretch slowly across a room as a candle burns low, the way the world settles into itself when the day is finally done. Allow your breath to grow a little smoother. Allow your body to grow a little heavier. Allow your heart to grow a little lighter. And as you ease deeper into this calm, I want to say something gently, like a friend sitting beside you on that old porch. If this space brings you peace, if this voice, this calm, this quiet helps you drift into rest, I'd love for you to subscribe so we can share more moments like this together. And when you're ready, not now, not rushed, you can simply leave a 1-inch the comments if this brought you comfort, or a 2 if it didn't quite land for you. It helps me understand what your heart is looking for, so this space can keep growing into a place where you can truly rest. No pressure, just a gentle invitation. Now, take another slow breath in, hold it softly, and let it go. Feel the night settling around you, warm and steady. Feel the weight of the day fading like distant thunder. Feel yourself opening to stillness, to quiet, to the soft unfolding of peace. Let the rhythm slow. Let your thoughts slow. Let your whole being move gently toward rest. The journey continues from here, and you're right where you need to be. Story 1. The 2 monks and the young woman. Long ago, 2 monks were walking along a quiet country road after a night of heavy rain. The puddles shimmered like small mirrors, and the fields on either side carried the sweet smell of wet earth. As the monks approached a small village bridge, they saw a young woman standing at the edge, her shoes in her hands, unsure how to cross without soaking her clothes. The older monk, without hesitation, lifted her gently into his arms and carried her through the muddy water. He set her down quietly on the other side. She thanked him with a soft, grateful smile, then went on her way. The monks continued walking in silence. The younger monk's face tightened as the miles passed. He kept glancing at the older monk, then back at the road, frustration growing like a knot inside him. Finally, he could no longer contain it. "Brother," he said sharply, "we are monks. We are not supposed to touch women. Why did you carry her?" The older monk paused. He looked at the road in front of them, then at the sky stretching wide above. "Ah," he said softly, "brother, I put her down miles ago. You are still carrying her. Let yourself settle into the meaning of that. Consider how often your own mind holds on to moments long after they've passed. A small comment someone made at work, a decision you replay again and again, a misunderstanding that clings to you like wet clothes. We carry these things even when we don't mean to, and they weigh more than we realize. Perhaps you feel the echo of something you carried today, a conversation, a worry, an expectation you couldn't meet. Maybe you're still holding on to it now. Even as you lie here preparing for sleep, you might notice tension around your shoulders or a tightness in your chest. Just bring awareness to it, with no judgment. You don't need to fix anything. Just notice. Take a slow breath in and let it fall away gently. Imagine placing the weight of the day on the ground, the way the older monk set the woman down. No rush, just a soft release, like placing down a heavy bag after carrying it too long. As you breathe, feel yourself loosening the grip you didn't know you had. Imagine the road ahead growing lighter. Imagine your mind opening like a quiet country sky. Let each inhale bring space. Let each exhale bring release. The day is behind you now. You don't need to carry it any farther. Let your breath slow. Let your thoughts soften. Let yourself drift toward rest, gently, like a leaf settling on still water. You are safe to let go tonight. You are safe to sleep. Story 2. The Overflowing Teacup. A respected professor once visited an old Zen master, eager to learn what he believed were deep spiritual secrets. The professor spoke endlessly about theories, books he'd read, debates he'd won, and ideas he wanted to challenge. The master listened with a soft smile and quiet eyes. When the professor finally paused, the master offered him tea. He poured slowly, gently, the aroma rising like a warm mist in the air. The professor nodded impatiently, ready to resume talking, but the master continued pouring. The tea reached the rim. Then it spilled over, flowing onto the table, dripping onto the floor. The professor leaped back. "Stop! The cup is overflowing." The master looked at him kindly. "Yes," he whispered. "Like this cup, your mind is too full. How can I show you anything unless you first empty it?" Consider this for a moment. How often do our minds run like that professor's, overflowing with plans, conversations, what-ifs, memories, and worries about tomorrow. We think so much. We try so hard to hold everything together: work deadlines, family needs, financial pressures, the quiet fears we don't say out loud. And at the end of the day, when the world finally gets quiet, all that fullness remains, spinning inside us. But tonight, you don't need to hold anything. You don't need to solve anything. You don't need to figure out what comes next. Just imagine your mind as that teacup, and imagine the thoughts gently pouring out, little by little, like warm tea returning to the earth. Take a slow breath in and release. Feel the space opening inside you, the quiet, the room to breathe. As you sink deeper into the softness of your pillow, picture yourself in a cozy kitchen with warm lamplight. A teacup rests in front of you, empty now, peaceful, waiting for whatever the moment brings. Not crowded by the noise of the day, not overwhelmed by the noise of tomorrow. Let your mind become that cup. Let it empty. Let it rest. With each breath, feel yourself drifting slowly into that quiet space. Gentle, unhurried, safe. You may feel your eyelids grow heavier, your breath become softer, your whole body relaxing downward, like settling into a warm quilt on a cool autumn night. Just breathe. Just drift. Sleep will come naturally. There is nothing more you need to hold. Story 3. The Farmer's Luck. There was once a farmer who lived with his son near the edge of a quiet village. They owned a single horse, strong and wild. And one day the horse ran away. The neighbors shook their heads and said, "What bad luck." The farmer simply nodded. "Maybe," he said. A week later, the horse returned, bringing with it 3 wild horses from the hills. The neighbors gasped. "What good luck." The farmer nodded again. "Maybe." Not long after, the farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses. It threw him hard to the ground, breaking his leg. The neighbors rushed to say, "What terrible luck." Again the farmer said, "Maybe." Soon after, soldiers arrived, taking every able young man to war. The son, with his injured leg, stayed safely at home. The neighbors whispered, "How fortunate." And again, the farmer only said, "Maybe." Let this story settle in your heart. Life changes like the seasons, sometimes in ways we don't understand. A setback today might clear the path for tomorrow. A delay might be protection. A disappointment might be quietly shaping something gentler than what we had planned. Perhaps you felt it in your own life, moments that seemed like closed doors, jobs that didn't work out, relationships that changed, unexpected turns that carried you somewhere you never thought you'd go. And maybe, looking back, you can see how some of those moments were guiding you, even when you didn't know it. Tonight, you don't need to decide whether something that happened today was good or bad. You don't need to judge it at all. You can let the day be what it was, without attaching meaning too quickly. You can rest in the soft space of maybe. Feel your breath soften. Feel the tension ease out of your shoulders. Imagine yourself standing in a quiet field at dusk. The horizon glows with fading sunlight. Fireflies rise in gentle patterns. The world is neither good nor bad, just unfolding. Take a slow breath in and let it out. Allow yourself to trust the not knowing. Allow the day to end without conclusions. Allow sleep to come without effort. You are safe to rest in maybe tonight. You are safe to drift into dreams. Story 4. The Buddha and the Angry Man. One day, a man approached the Buddha with anger burning through him like a wildfire. He shouted harsh words, insults, accusations. The Buddha listened quietly, his breath steady, his eyes calm. When the man finally stopped, exhausted by his own fury, the Buddha spoke gently. "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man frowned, confused. "It belongs to the one who offered it." The Buddha smiled softly. "In the same way, if I do not accept your anger, it remains with you." Let that image settle in your mind. Anger offered like a wrapped package that you do not have to take. You might think of times when someone's frustration spilled onto you at work, at home, in a hurried moment during the day. Perhaps you felt the sting of someone else's storm. Perhaps you carried it longer than you meant to. Tonight, You don't need to hold anyone else's anger. You don't need to carry emotions that aren't yours. You don't need to take in what was never meant for your peace. Take a slow breath in. Let it fall out softly. Imagine standing near a calm lake at night. Someone hands you a heavy, wrapped package, filled not with kindness, but with their own unrest. Instead of taking it, imagine simply letting it remain in their hands. You bow gently and walk away toward the quiet of the lake. Feel the freedom of that. Feel the lightness. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to step away from storms that are not yours to weather. Let your breath slow. Let the soft night air wrap around you like a blanket. Let sleep rise gently beneath you. You are safe. You can rest now. Story 5. The Heavy Stone. A Zen master once asked his students to imagine carrying a large stone everywhere they went. "How tired would you become?" he asked. The students murmured, picturing the weight dragging down their arms, slowing their steps, exhausting their strength. The master nodded. "Now imagine simply setting the stone down. Consider what heavy stone you carried today. Maybe a worry, a long list of tasks, a conversation you replayed over and over, or a fear that followed you like a shadow. Life asks a lot of us: work, family, expectations, the subtle pressure to keep going even when we're tired. And sometimes we hold the weight long after we've reached the place where we could finally rest. Tonight, you can set it down. You don't have to carry the stone into your dreams. Take a slow breath in and release. Imagine standing beside a quiet river in the early evening. The water glows with moonlight. You are holding a heavy stone, smooth, cool, worn by time. With your next exhale, imagine placing it gently beside the riverbank. Not throwing it, not breaking it, just setting it down. Feel your hands grow lighter. Feel your shoulders release. Feel the space returning to your breath. You do not need to carry anything right now. Not the day, not the worries, not the weight you didn't ask for. Let your eyes grow heavy. Let your breath become soft. Let sleep rise like a calm tide, steady and warm. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to let go. Story 6. The Lute String Teaching. A young monk once struggled terribly with meditation. He pushed himself with fierce determination, sitting rigidly, trying to force his mind into silence. Exhausted and frustrated, he approached the Buddha and asked for guidance. The Buddha asked him, "When you played the lute before becoming a monk, what happened when the string was too tight?" "It snapped," the young man said, "and when the string was too loose, it would not play." The Buddha smiled gently. Meditation is the same. Not too tight, not too loose. Think about how this echoes in your own life. Some days, you push so hard, striving to meet deadlines, to care for family, to be everything for everyone. Other days, you're so drained, there's nothing left to give. And somewhere between these extremes lies a quiet balance, the soft place where breath flows smoothly, where the mind eases into rest. Tonight, feel your body finding that gentle middle, not forcing relaxation, not collapsing into exhaustion, just easing into stillness. Take a slow breath in and exhale softly. Imagine a single lute string glowing gently in a candlelit room, not tight, not slack, just right. Your breath moves like a finger plucking that string, sending a soft, soothing vibration through your whole body. Let that vibration settle into your chest, your shoulders, your belly, your legs. Feel yourself aligning gently with the rhythm of rest. Feel your mind loosening its grip, like a hand unclenching slowly. Let your breath guide you towards sleep. No pressure, no goals, just quiet balance, drawing you inward. The night holds you gently. You can drift now. Story 7. The Horse Story. In a small village, a restless horse would often run wildly through the town square, kicking up dust and startling everyone. One day, a young man saw the horse racing by and shouted to the villagers, "Where is it going?" The villagers shrugged. "No one knows. It doesn't know itself." Consider how we often move through our days, just like that horse pulled by habits, stress, routine, and momentum. Sometimes we rush without knowing where we're headed. We react without understanding why. We carry tension without noticing how deeply it sits in our muscles. Tonight, you don't need to run anywhere. You don't need to chase anything. You don't need to understand every worry that crossed your mind today. Take a slow breath in and let it out. Imagine watching that horse slow down at the edge of a quiet meadow. Its breathing softens, its muscles loosen, its wild energy settles into stillness. Imagine the same, softening within yourself. Your mind easing, your breath deepening, your body releasing. Nothing is pulling you tonight. No momentum, no rush. Just the calm of a meadow beneath a starry sky. Feel yourself slowing to a peaceful stop. Feel the quiet gathering around you like soft grass underfoot. Let your thoughts drift like faint clouds across the night sky. Let your breath guide you gently downward. You can rest now. You are safe to sleep. Story 8. Letting go of the rope. A student once asked a Zen master why life felt so tense, so tight, as though he were always being pulled in too many directions. The master handed him a thick rope and told him to pull as hard as he could. The student pulled. The master pulled back. The rope grew tight, straining between them. Then the master let go. The student stumbled backward, nearly falling. The master smiled softly. When you release what pulls you, the tension disappears. Think about the ropes you held on to today. The rope of responsibility, the rope of worry, the rope of trying to hold everything together. Maybe you've been pulling so hard, trying to stay in control, trying not to fall behind, and maybe the tension has followed you into the evening. But tonight, you can set the rope down. You can let both ends fall softly to the ground. Take a slow breath in and release. Imagine the rope loosening in your hands, the strain dissolving, the tightness fading like mist in morning sun. Feel your shoulders unclench. Feel your neck soften. Feel your breath deepen. You're not dropping the responsibilities forever just for tonight, just long enough to give your heart rest. Let your breath move like a gentle tide. Let the tension seep out of your muscles. Let your mind quiet as you drift towards sleep. You deserve this rest. You can let go now. Story 9. The Broken Cup. A Zen master once told his students, "This cup is already broken." They stared at it whole, beautiful, sparkling in the morning light. The master explained, "To me, it is already broken, and because of that, I cherish it even more." He meant that everything we love, moments, people, objects, exists in a world of change. Knowing this doesn't bring sadness. It brings gratitude. It helps us cherish what we have while we have it. Think about your day. The small moments you may not have noticed: a warm cup of coffee, a hug from someone you love, a quiet drive home, a moment of laughter, even a moment of stillness. These moments are delicate, like that cup, and because they don't last forever, they are precious. Tonight, let that awareness soften you. Not in a heavy way, but in a warm, gentle way that opens space inside you. Take a slow breath in and let it go. Imagine placing a cup of warm tea beside you on a small wooden table. A candle flickers beside it. The room grows quiet. You hold the cup lightly, knowing its time is temporary, and loving it all the more. Let that feeling of gentle gratitude fill your chest. Let it ease the tightness of the day. Let it carry you toward rest. As your breath softens, imagine the cup glowing faintly, not because it is perfect, but because it is loved in its impermanence. Let your thoughts drift. Let your body become heavy against your bed. Let sleep rise like warm tea steam, soft and comforting. You are safe. You can rest now. Story 10. The Buddha and the Rope of Fear. A story tells of a monk walking at dusk who saw a snake on the path. He froze, heart pounding, breath stuck in his throat, fear wrapped around him like a tight rope. He turned back, running to the monastery. The master calmly returned with him and examined the path by lantern light. They found not a snake, but a rope. The master said softly, "Most suffering comes from mistaking ropes for snakes. Consider the snakes your mind imagined today: fears about the future, worries about money, uncertainties at work, tension in relationships. The mind has a way of turning ropes into snakes when we're tired, overwhelmed, or stretched thin. Tonight, you don't need to fight the snakes. You can simply shine a gentle light on them and see them for what they are: thoughts, possibilities, stories your mind creates. Take a slow breath in and release. Imagine walking a quiet path at dusk. A lantern glows in your hand. Soft steps, cool air, the world quiet. You see something on the ground, a shape your mind doesn't fully understand. You breathe. You take one step closer, and the light reveals the truth. It is only a rope. Feel the relief spread through your chest. Feel the tension loosen in your shoulders. Feel the soft, warm light of your inner lantern guiding you toward peace. Let your breath slow. Let your thoughts soften. Let the imagined snakes of the day dissolve. You are safe tonight. You are held in calm. You can drift gently into sleep. Allow the night to wrap around you like a warm blanket. Allow your breath to become slow and steady. Allow your whole body to sink into rest. Sleep is close now. Let yourself fall toward it, softly, quietly, peacefully. Story 11. There is an old Zen tale about a monk who carried a candle wherever he went at night. Not for light, he said, but to remind himself that even the smallest flame can soften the deepest darkness. The other monks used to tease him. Why bring a candle to see the moon? They laughed, but he would only smile, blow out the flame, and say, "The moon shows me the world. The candle shows me myself." Tonight, let me tell you the gentler version of that story, one meant for tired hearts. Imagine the monk as an elderly man with kind eyes. He walks the temple hallways slowly, his robe brushing the wooden floor. He pauses at each doorway, holding the candle close, studying the warm flicker as if it speaks to him. He is in no hurry. He has spent his whole life hurrying, and now he knows better. Now, he really listens to the way silence moves. One evening, a younger monk approaches him with worry etched across his face. He has been losing sleep over decisions, fears, responsibilities. He feels pulled in too many directions, the way so many adults do in their busy lives. "Master," he whispers, "I am overwhelmed. My thoughts are loud. My heart is never still." The old monk holds out the little candle. "This is your mind," he says softly. "The world will always have darkness. But this steady flame, you can return to it whenever you need." The younger monk watches the flame tremble slightly, then settle. Something inside him softens, as if a knot has loosened. Consider this for yourself now. Perhaps you too have been carrying worries around like heavy stones in your pockets. Perhaps you've had days when the world felt too rushed, when expectations pressed too tightly on the chest. Tonight, let this candle story remind you that you don't need to fix everything at once. You only need to return to your inner flame, the quiet place you've always had. Take a slow breath in and gently release it. Imagine you're holding a small candle in your hands, a calm, steady flame. Notice how it flickers, not from fear, but from life. With each breath, see it grow just a little warmer, just a little brighter, not blinding, just comforting. Perhaps you feel your shoulders lowering. Perhaps your jaw softens. Maybe there's a wave of ease rolling through your chest. Let the tiny flame guide you toward rest now. Let your body settle, like a candle sinking deeper into quiet wax. Let yourself soften, gently, slowly, peacefully, as sleep begins to rise like moonlight around you. Story 12. There is a story often told in Buddhist circles about a master sweeping the temple floor. A student approaches, eager and restless, asking for teachings, answers, techniques, enlightenment, anything that will make life clearer. The master keeps sweeping, back and forth, dust rising, then settling again. Tonight, imagine that scene differently. Slower, softer, a version meant just for you. Picture the master as someone who could be your wise grandparent's steady hands, a back slightly bent from years of working, and eyes that glow with kindness. The broom makes a soft whispering sound against the wooden boards. Outside, evening light gathers itself along the horizon. The air smells faintly of pine. The student stands beside the master, shifting from foot to foot, the way we all do when we're tired of waiting for life to give us clarity. Master, the student says, I don't understand why my mind feels so cluttered. I try to meditate, but thoughts scatter everywhere. Tell me what to do, please. The master pauses, lifts the broom, then sweeps again. Finally, in a warm voice, the master says, Do you see the floor? Yes, the student replies. A moment ago, the master says, it was covered in dust. Now it is not. But the dust did nothing wrong. It simply needed to settle. Consider how this applies to your own tired thoughts. You aren't doing anything wrong by thinking. You aren't failing because your mind is busy. Thoughts are like dust stirred by the day's wind's work. Errands, worries, conversations, expectations. They float, they scatter, they drift, and then, with time, with gentleness, they settle. Take a moment to notice your breathing. Feel the slow rise and the slow fall. Imagine your thoughts drifting softly downward, like dust settling on a quiet porch at dusk. Perhaps you sense a little more calm now. Perhaps a small space is opening between the thoughts. Let yourself ease into that space. Let it cradle you and guide you softly into rest. Story 13. There is an old parable known in American Buddhist teachings, the story of the empty boat. A man is rowing across a foggy lake when another boat gently bumps into his. He becomes furious, shouting into the mist until he realizes the other boat is empty. His anger dissolves instantly. Tonight, let us retell it slowly, like a dream drifting across still water. Picture a wide lake surrounded by tall pines, the air cool and quiet. Early morning mist clings to the surface of the water. A man sits in a small wooden boat, rowing with gentle strokes. He is tired. Tired in the way many adults are tired from stress, from responsibilities, from the constant hum of life. He rows not to get somewhere, but to breathe, to be away from noise. Then comes the bump, a soft, unexpected tap against the side of his boat. His mind reacts instantly, anger rising like a spark catching dry grass. Can't anyone be careful? He mutters. This is just like everything else. Always something pushing into my peace. He grips the oars tighter. His breath shortens. But then, the fog parts just a little, and he sees that the boat drifting into his is empty. No one to blame. No one to argue with. Just an unmanned vessel carried by the current. He exhales. Shoulders drop. Something inside unclenches. In that moment, he understands. Most of the things that disturb us are empty boats. People's actions are often shaped by their own currents, stress, exhaustion, distraction, just as ours are. The world bumps into us without meaning to. Imagine now that the things that troubled you today, the frustrations, the misunderstandings, the pressures, are like empty boats drifting on a foggy lake. Not personal, not intentional, just passing. Let yourself feel the relief of that. Let the tension drain from your jaw. Let your hands release whatever they've been holding too tightly. Breathe in and breathe out. Imagine your boat drifting gently on calm water. No effort needed. No direction required. Let the lake carry you. Let the mist hold you. Let sleep come like soft fog rolling in, quiet and cool, wrapping you in peace. Story 14. There is a simple Zen saying, when you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. It points to the beauty of doing one thing at a time, an idea that many teachers like Thich Nhat Hanh have shared with tenderness for decades. Tonight, Let me tell you a soft story inspired by that teaching. A woman lives in a small house at the edge of a forest. She works long hours, managing deadlines, emails, family needs, juggling everything the way so many of us do. She moves through her day like a running stream, never stopping long enough to see the sky reflected in her own waters. One evening, exhausted, she takes her dinner out to the porch. There's a quiet glow in the air, that gentle hush right after sunset. She picks up her fork, but her mind isn't with her meal. It's with tomorrow's tasks, next week's obligations, all the things she hasn't done yet. She sighs. Her chest feels tight. Just then, she notices a small deer at the edge of the trees. It stands perfectly still, watching her, not judging, not fearful, just present. For a long moment, they simply look at each other. No rushing, no planning, no pressure. The woman puts down her fork. She takes a breath, slow, deep, kind. She realizes she's been living everywhere except here. So she picks up her dinner again. And this time, she really tastes it. The warm flavors, the soft textures, the way the food steadies her body. For the first time all day, she feels herself return to herself. Consider this now. Maybe your own day has scattered your attention in 100 directions. Maybe you've been pulled between responsibilities, never quite landing anywhere fully. Take one slow breath. Let your body settle into stillness. Imagine the quiet porch. Imagine the deer watching you with soft, steady eyes. Imagine yourself slowing down enough to simply be. Let that feeling carry you toward rest now. Let your mind loosen its grip on the day. Let your breath move gently, like evening air drifting through forest branches, and allow sleep to come naturally, like the soft arrival of nightfall. Story 15. There is a tale told in Zen about a man who carried a heavy backpack everywhere he went. The story is often used as a teaching about burdens, expectations, and the things we cling to without realizing they can be set down. Tonight, imagine that man in a quiet modern setting, someone who could easily be you or someone you know. He lives in a small apartment filled with the soft hum of evening. After a long day at work, emails, meetings, traffic, he arrives home still wearing his backpack. Not because he needs to, but because he's forgotten what it feels like to take it off. He goes about the house like that, cooking, checking messages, worrying about the future, thinking about past mistakes, all while carrying the weight. A friend visits, a gentle person, the kind who notices things quietly. After a moment, the friend says, you can put that down." The man looks confused. "Put what down?" "Whatever you're carrying," the friend says softly. The man removes the backpack, and to his surprise, it feels ridiculously heavy, much heavier than he remembered, as if each day he added a little more to it. Disappointments, fear, regrets, expectations. He sets it on the floor, stands up straight, feels his shoulders expand for the first time in days. He smiles, a small, tired, grateful smile. Consider what you may be carrying right now. Perhaps worries about tomorrow, perhaps regrets from yesterday, perhaps invisible expectations pressing on your chest. Take a slow breath, and with the exhale, imagine setting down your own backpack. Feel your shoulders lighten. Feel your breath deepen. Feel your whole being loosen, soften, release. Let your body sink a little deeper into comfort. Let the weight fall away. Let sleep rise to take its place. Story 16. There is a classical Buddhist teaching about a musician who struggled with tuning his lute. If the strings were too tight, they snapped. If too loose, they made no sound. Only the middle way produced music. Tonight, let us retell that teaching gently, as if you're listening to it by lamplight. Imagine a young musician living in a small American town. He works long hours at a day job, bags under his eyes, coffee always in hand, but at night, he plays his old wooden guitar. It's scratched and worn, but the sound still carries warmth. One evening, he grows frustrated. The strings buzz and clatter. He tightens them too much. They break. He loosens them too much. They fall silent. He feels this as a metaphor for his whole life. Always too tight or too loose. Always trying too hard or giving up completely. He sighs and leans back, staring at the worn ceiling. An older neighbor hears the struggle and knocks gently on his door. She's lived a long time, seen many lives unfold, and carries her wisdom lightly. She sits beside him and says, "When I was young, I met a teacher who told me something I never forgot. Not too tight, not too loose. Life is like your guitar strings. You cannot control every note. You just find the balance where the music can breathe." The young man nods, and this time, he tunes the strings slowly, patiently, not forcing anything. He strums. The sound is warm, full, steady, like a deep breath after years of holding back. Consider this. Perhaps parts of your life have felt stretched too thin. Perhaps other parts have sagged from exhaustion. But here, now, in this quiet moment, you can find your own middle way. Take a slow breath in and let it fall gently out. Imagine your breath as music, soft, steady, unforced. Feel your body tuning itself toward comfort. Feel your thoughts loosening their tight grip. Feel the day releasing, note by note. Let the music fade into silence. Let the silence cradle you. Let sleep come like a final, gentle chord dissolving in the air. Story 17. There is a Zen story known as the Stonecutter. It tells of a man who always wished to be someone else stronger, richer, more powerful, until he finally realized his own life was enough. Tonight, here is the sleep-softened version of that tale. Imagine a man who works long hours cutting stone for buildings. His hands are rough, his back aches, and he often feels ordinary in a world that celebrates extraordinary things. On his lunch breaks, he sits under a tree watching people pass, business owners, athletes, influential leaders, and he wishes he could live their lives. One day, he wishes with such intensity that he magically becomes a wealthy merchant. For a moment, he feels delighted, until he discovers the merchant has worries far heavier than stones. Money to protect, deals to secure, people to impress. His heart grows tired, so he wishes again to become a powerful official, and suddenly he is one. But the official is feared, watched, always under pressure. His days fill with obligations, his nights with unease, so he wishes to become the sun, mighty and brilliant, and he does. But clouds block his light, mountains cut his rays. He cannot reach every corner, so he wishes to become the mountain, immovable, towering, and he becomes one. For a long while, he feels strong, until he notices a small stonecutter chipping away at his side, reshaping him effortlessly. And at last, he understands. The stonecutter is powerful in his own way. Contentment doesn't come from changing who we are, but from seeing the quiet strength already within us. Consider your own life now. Perhaps you've compared yourself to others. Perhaps you've wondered if you should be farther along, more successful, more something. But right now, you can let all of that soften. Take a slow breath. Feel the steadiness of your own presence. Feel your life as it is, not lacking, not unfinished, simply here. Let that be enough for tonight. Let it be more than enough. Now allow yourself to drift, slowly, gently, the way a mountain settles under the stars. Story 18. There is a classical koan called The Sound of One Hand. People often misunderstand it as a riddle, but at its heart, it's an invitation to listen more deeply. Tonight, let's explore it softly. A young practitioner asks a Zen master, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" expecting some mysterious, dramatic answer. Instead, the master simply raises his hand, palm open, completely still. No sound, no performance, just presence. The student waits, looks confused. The master says, "Listen." "To what?" the student asks. "To everything," the master replies. "To what is here, to what is inside, to the quiet you keep running from. Tonight, Imagine yourself in that temple room. The paper lanterns glow softly. The air smells of cedar. The evening outside is cool and gentle. The master raises his hand again. You watch. You listen. And you realize the koan isn't about finding an answer. It's about finding stillness. Consider this now. Maybe your own mind has been searching for clarity, solutions, or relief. But the moment you stop searching just for a breath, you begin to hear something deeper. That quiet hum beneath everything. The soft, steady rhythm of your own existence. Let yourself listen now to the warmth of your breath, to the calm settling around your shoulders, to the hush in your chest as the day releases its grip. Let the silence become a blanket. Let it wrap around you. Let it lead you gently towards sleep. Story 19. There is a beloved Buddhist story called Two Arrows. It teaches that while pain is inevitable, suffering the second arrow is often added by the mind. Tonight, let's tell it like a bedtime whisper. A man is struck by an arrow. It hurts, of course, but then he becomes angry about the pain, resentful, afraid, worried about what will happen next. Those thoughts become a second arrow, one he shoots into himself. Now imagine this story not in ancient India, but in the life of a modern woman who works long days and carries a heart full of responsibility. One day, something upsetting happens. An argument, a mistake, a disappointment. That's the first arrow. It hurts, naturally. But then her mind begins firing the second arrow. I shouldn't have said that. I always mess things up. What if this ruins everything? Why am I like this? Each thought deepens the wound. That evening, she sits on her couch, tired and overwhelmed. A friend sends her a message. Be gentle with yourself. One arrow is enough. She reads it twice. Then a third time. Something softens in her chest. She whispers to herself, one arrow is enough. Consider this now. Maybe today held its own first arrows for you. Stress, disappointment, discomfort. But you can stop the second arrow. You can let yourself rest without adding pain to pain. Take a slow breath in and a soft breath out. Whisper inwardly, one arrow is enough. Feel the tension dissolving. Feel the kindness growing. Feel sleep approaching like a warm tide. Story 20. There is a traditional Jataka story about a thirsty crow. The crow finds a jug of water, but the water level is too low. Instead of giving up, the crow drops pebbles into the jug until the water rises enough to drink. Tonight, imagine this story in a gentle, dreamlike tone. A little crow lives near a quiet farmhouse at the edge of a wide field. The summers are hot there, the kind of heat that makes the air shimmer. One afternoon, tired and thirsty, the crow finds an old glass jar beneath the shade of a maple tree. Inside, at the very bottom, is a small pool of cool, clear water. But the crow cannot reach it. It tries tipping the jar, tapping it, pecking it. Nothing works. For a moment, the crow feels the way many of us do when we're worn out, discouraged, overwhelmed, unsure what to do next. Then it notices the pebbles scattered nearby. Small, simple, ordinary. The crow picks one up in its beak and drops it into the jar. Then another, and another. Slowly, very slowly, the water rises. At last, the crow drinks. Cool, refreshing, enough. Consider this message for your own life now. Maybe some of your challenges feel too big to solve tonight. Maybe you're too tired to change everything at once. But you don't need to. You only need small steps, small kindnesses, small breaths, each one a pebble, each one raising the water level of your peace. Take a slow breath. Feel the pebble drop. Take another. Feel the water rise. Let your worries sit on the ground beside you now. Let your breath cool your tired mind. Let sleep come gently, like the shade of the maple tree settling across the field. Story 21. There is an old teaching from the Zen tradition about a traveler who wandered through the mountains searching for peace. He visited temples, spoke with teachers, read sacred books, But nothing eased the restlessness inside him. It wasn't until an unexpected moment, in an unexpected place, that he finally understood what he'd been looking for. Tonight, let me tell that story in a soft, sleep-ready way. Picture the traveler walking alone along a winding forest road. Evening has settled in, turning the sky a deep shade of blue. The cicadas sing their steady song. His backpack is heavy, not just with supplies, but with expectations of enlightenment, of perfection, of relief. His feet are sore. His heart is tired. He finds a small cabin with a little bench on the porch. No one seems to live there. A lantern glows softly in the window, warm and inviting, like an old friend waving him in. He sits down. Finally, he lets out a long breath. For the first time all day, he isn't searching for anything. He isn't trying to understand life. He isn't chasing wisdom. He's just sitting, breathing, tired. A gentle wind passes. The trees sway. The lantern flickers. And in that quiet, he feels something loosen inside him. A softening, a warmth, a simple presence that feels almost like coming home. He realizes then what his teachers meant when they said peace cannot be found by chasing it. It arrives when we stop striving, stop resisting, stop pushing against the currents of our own lives. Consider this now. Maybe today you searched for answers, for calm, for relief. Maybe you tried to solve problems or quiet your mind or be strong for others. But right now, in this moment, you don't need to search. You don't need to earn rest. You can just sit on the little porch of your own being and breathe. Feel the weight in your shoulders melt a little. Feel your chest open softly. Feel the quiet settling around you like a warm lantern glow. Take a long, gentle breath in and let it fall slowly out. Let yourself rest here, like the traveler at the end of a long journey. Let the forest cradle you. Let the night air cool your thoughts. Let sleep arrive naturally, like a lantern flickering into softness. Story 22. There is a famous parable told by many teachers, including Pema Chodron, the story of a woman who falls into a hole. She panics, struggles, shouts for help, until an old friend climbs down with her. The woman asks, "Why did you come down here too?" And the friend replies, "Because I've been here before, and I know the way out." Tonight, let me tell you the sleep version of that story. Gentle, slow, and soothing. Imagine a woman walking down a quiet street at dusk. She's been carrying more than her share lately: worries, decisions, regrets, the invisible weight so many adults shoulder without rest. She's thinking about bills, about family, about conversations she wishes had gone differently. Her mind is full, and because it is full, she doesn't see the whole. She slips, falls, lands at the bottom of a deep, soft earth pit. She calls out. Her voice echoes. She feels the familiar panic rising, the pressure, the helplessness, the stories the mind invents when it feels trapped. But then, footsteps approach. Someone climbs down the ladder. A kind, weathered face appears beside her. It's an old friend, someone gentle, someone steady. "Why did you come down?" the woman asks through her tears. The friend sits beside her, back resting against the cool earth wall. "Because I've been here," the friend says softly, "and I know you won't be here forever." Well, climb out together when you're ready. There is no rush, no pressure, no judgment, just presence. Consider this now. Maybe there are holes in your life too, moments of overwhelm, fear, exhaustion, loneliness, but you've never been alone in them. Others have walked similar paths. Others have known this same heaviness. And within you, there is a wiser friend, the part of you that has survived every difficult day you've lived. Let that part sit beside you now. Feel it place a gentle hand on your shoulder. Feel the calm that spreads from that touch. Take a slow breath. Let it ease the edges of your worry. Let it soften the walls of the mind. You don't have to climb out right now. You only need to rest. Let sleep come, like a friend sitting quietly beside you in the dark. Story 23. There is an old Zen story about a monk who visited a master. to ask for freedom from suffering. The master gave him a simple instruction: show me your suffering, and I will free you from it. The monk searched everywhere, his thoughts, his memories, his emotions, but he could not find a single thing he could hand over. Tonight, let us explore that story gently, in a way that guides you toward rest. Imagine a monk walking through a quiet temple garden under the moonlight. The gravel path feels cool beneath his bare feet. The air smells faintly of jasmine. He carries a heavy feeling in his chest: worry, guilt, anticipation, self-doubt, all the things humans carry. He approaches the master, who is tending a small bonsai tree. The master trims a leaf, pauses, smiles. "Master," the monk says softly, "I want freedom from suffering." The master motions for him to sit, then says, "Show it to me." The monk opens his hands. They are empty. He searches his pockets. Empty. He searches his memories. They shift like smoke. He searches his emotions. They rise and fall like waves impossible to grasp. Finally, tears fill his eyes. "I cannot find it," he whispers. The master nods gently. "If you cannot hold it," he says, "you do not have to carry it. Consider this now. The worries you carried today, where are they? Truly, can you place them in your hands? Can you set them on a table? Or are they clouds passing through the sky of your mind? Not solid, not permanent. Take a slow breath. Feel your chest soften. Feel your hands relax. Imagine opening your palms. As the monk did, imagine everything you've been holding: stress, tension, heaviness floating away like mist rising into night air. You do not have to carry what you cannot hold. Let that truth wash through you, warm and gentle. Let your whole body soften toward rest. Let sleep rise like a quiet tide, filling you with ease. Story 24. There is a parable called The Bamboo and the Oak, often retold in modern mindfulness teachings. It speaks of resilience, not the hard, brittle kind, but the soft, bending kind that survives storms. Tonight, let me share it with you in a way that lulls you toward rest. A strong oak tree grows at the center of a wide field, tall, proud, unyielding. Nearby stands a grove of slender bamboo, swaying gently even in the slightest breeze. The oak often scoffs at them. "You bend too easily. You have no strength." Then one autumn night, a great storm rolls across the land. Wind howls, branches whip, rain falls in sheets. The oak stands firm, stiff, defiant. The bamboo bends low, almost touching the earth, moving with the wind rather than resisting it. When morning arrives, the oak lies broken on the ground, its proud trunk split by its refusal to yield. But the bamboo rises, unharmed, swaying softly in the calm after the storm. Consider this for a moment. Perhaps today you tried to be like the oak, strong, unbending, holding everything together. But strength can also be softness, flexibility, the willingness to lean, to rest, to breathe, to say not now. Take a slow inhalation and a long exhalation. Feel your body bending gently toward comfort. Feel the tight places loosening. Feel the storms of the day passing behind you. You do not need to stand rigid tonight. You can be like the bamboo, soft, safe, supported by the earth. Let your breath sway you into stillness. Let your mind settle like rainwater becoming calm. Let sleep rise through you like the gentle morning after a storm. Story 25. There is a monk in another famous tale who carries a bowl everywhere he goes. People wonder why he cares so much about it. One day, the bowl slips from his hands and breaks. Everyone gasps. Everyone, except the monk. He simply smiles and says, "Ah, now I can stop worrying about breaking it." Tonight, let's explore that story slowly, with a soothing rhythm. Imagine the monk as an elderly man with soft eyes and kind wrinkles. His bowl is beautiful smooth clay, painted with delicate blue patterns. He cherishes it deeply, not for its value, but because it has been with him through many seasons of life. Still, he worries. He carries it too tightly. He watches every step, avoiding anything that might cause harm. One day, on a quiet walk, he stumbles. The bowl slips. It cracks on the stone path, breaking cleanly into two pieces. A hush falls over the watching monks, but the old monk kneels, touches the broken bowl gently, and smiles. All this time, he says, I feared losing it. Now the fear is gone. Consider how this might apply to your own life. How many fears do you hold? How many worries grow heavier simply because you carry them so tightly? Take a slow breath in. Let it soften something small inside you. Then breathe out with ease. Perhaps the things you fear are not as fragile as you imagine. Perhaps the breaking of something, an expectation, a plan, a certainty can sometimes bring unexpected freedom. Let yourself lie down gently into that truth. Let sleep come like the release of a long-held worry. Story 26. There is a Zen story called Good Enough, shared by teachers like Jack Cornfield. A young monk tries desperately to perfect his meditation: straight posture, perfect breath, flawless focus. He becomes tense, frustrated, exhausted. One evening, an older monk sits beside him and imitates his stiff posture, exaggerated and dramatic. The young monk bursts into laughter. The older monk smiles and says, "See, you're trying too hard." Tonight, picture that scene softly. The meditation hall glows with candlelight. Crickets hum outside the wooden walls. The young monk sits painfully upright, jaw clenched, shoulders tight. He wants so badly to get everything right. The older monk sits beside him, watches quietly. Then, with a playful seriousness, he copies the stiff posture, tilting his head, squeezing his eyes shut, holding his breath. The young monk can't help it. He laughs. His body collapses into a more natural ease. There, the older monk says, that is meditation. Consider this. How often have you tried too hard? How often have you pushed yourself, striving to be perfect, to be calm, to be everything for everyone? Take a slow breath. Let it be imperfect. Let it be enough. Feel your body soften into the bed or chair beneath you. Feel your breath becoming natural, unforced. Feel a small smile forming in your chest, even if not on your lips. You are enough for this moment, more than enough. Let that truth guide you into sleep. Story 27. There is a koan called Nothing Exists. It's often misunderstood. It doesn't mean the world is empty. It means our worries, opinions, and fears are often not as solid as they appear. Tonight, let me tell a soft version. A monk stands on a cliff overlooking the ocean at twilight. He has spent the whole day wrestling with a single thought. What if everything goes wrong? The thought feels heavy, real, carved in stone. His teacher joins him, gazing out at the waves. What troubles you? The teacher asks. My thoughts, the monk whispers. They feel so real. The teacher picks up a handful of sand and holds it out. Is this sand real? He asks. Yes, the monk says. The teacher opens his hand. The sand slips away in the wind. Real, the teacher says, but not permanent. Consider your own thoughts now. They may have felt heavy today: financial concerns, difficult conversations, self-doubt, old memories. But they are sand. They pass. They shift. They dissolve. Take a slow breath. Feel your thoughts drifting like grains caught in a gentle breeze. Feel the heaviness leaving your chest. Feel your mind opening like the wide ocean beneath the moon. Let sleep come like the tide, steady, soft, unhurried. Story 28. There is a classic story about a monk who asks his teacher, "How do I enter the way?" The teacher answers, "Do you hear the river?" The monk nods. Enter there. Tonight, imagine that river flowing through your own rest. Picture a river winding through a forest. Moonlight glimmers on its rippling surface. The water sings a low, soothing song. Steady, ancient, kind. A monk sits on a rock beside it, weighed down by a day of doubts and confusion. His teacher joins him, sits quietly, listens to the water. "Master," the monk says, "my mind is noisy." The teacher smiles. Then listen to something quieter. The monk listens to the river, and in the listening, his thoughts begin to soften. The noise loosens its grip. Consider this now. Your own mind may have been loud today, thoughts rushing like a crowded highway, but beneath them, there is always a quieter current. Let yourself tune into that now. Feel your breath slowing. Feel your heartbeat settling. Feel your body leaning gently toward rest. Let the river carry you. Let it wash the day from your thoughts. Let sleep take you the way water takes a leaf, soft, effortless, inevitable. Story 29. There is a simple lesson shared in Zen temples. Chop wood, carry water. It means that peace is found not in extraordinary moments, but in the ordinary rhythm of life. Tonight, let's tell that story softly. A woman lives in a little cabin in the mountains. Each morning, she carries water from the stream. Each evening, she chops wood for her fire. She used to resent these tasks, wishing for a simpler life, an easier life, a quieter life. One winter, after a heavy snowfall, she wakes to a stillness so deep she can hear her own breath echo. She steps outside and begins her usual work. But something is different. The snow muffles every sound. Her movements slow naturally. She feels her heart beat. Her breath, the steadiness of her steps. Chop wood, carry water. One moment at a time. For the first time, the tasks feel like a meditation, a way of softening into life instead of resisting it. Tonight, consider where your own peace might be found. Not in perfection, not in grand answers, but in the gentle rhythm of right now. Take a slow breath, then another. Let each breath be a simple task, easy, quiet, enough. Let your body settle. Let the day fall away. Let sleep arrive like snowfall, cool, soft, covering everything with calm. Story 30. There is a beloved tale called The Moon Cannot Be Stolen. A thief breaks into a humble monk's hut, only to find there is nothing to take. The monk gives him his robe, saying kindly, "If only I could give you the moon. Tonight, let me tell it in a dreamlike whisper." A monk lives alone near a lake. His home is simple: a straw mat, a wooden bowl, a lantern. One night, a desperate man breaks in, searching for money or valuables. But there is nothing of that sort. The monk wakes, sees the man shivering, and smiles gently. "You came a long way," the monk says. "Please, take this." He offers his robe, soft, warm, clean. The thief is stunned. No anger, no fear, just kindness. As the man leaves, clutching the robe, the monk steps outside. The night sky stretches above him, vast and silver. The moon reflects on the smooth surface of the lake, glowing like a pearl resting on water. The monk whispers, "If only I could give him this too." Consider this now. Peace cannot be stolen. Calm cannot be taken. Your inner moon, your quietness, your presence, your breath belongs solely to you. Take a long, slow breath in and release it gently. Imagine the moon glowing inside you, soft, steady, untouched by worry or fear. Let that light fill your chest. Let it warm your throat, your face, your hands. Let it drift through your whole body. You carry a stillness that nothing and no one can take. Lean into that now. Let yourself settle into the glow. Let sleep rise around you like moonlight on a calm lake. Story 31. The Two Arrows. There is an old teaching about two arrows, passed quietly from one generation to another, like a whisper carried on a soft wind. The Buddha once said that when life wounds us, it is like being struck by an arrow. But when we worry, replay the moment, or blame ourselves endlessly, we fire a second arrow into our own hearts. Tonight, let me tell it to you gently, as though we were sitting on a quiet porch at dusk, fireflies blinking in the tall summer grass. A traveler once came to the Buddha with worry in his eyes, the kind of worry you might see in someone who's been carrying too many responsibilities for too many years. He asked why life brings hardship, and why the mind makes it hurt even more. The Buddha simply said, "A person is shot by an arrow. It is painful, But if they shoot themselves with a second arrow, that is unnecessary. The traveler nodded. Though his shoulders remained heavy, the Buddha continued. The first arrow is life. The second is our reaction. You might hear those words and think of the moments in your own days when something small happens, an email you didn't expect, a comment that felt sharp, a reminder of something undone, and suddenly the mind spins the story, replaying it, tightening it, making it heavier. Consider this. The first arrow already happened, but the second, that one, is optional. As you rest tonight, perhaps you can feel where a second arrow has been lingering in your thoughts, not to judge yourself, but simply to notice. Maybe a regret from the past, a worry about the morning meeting, a conversation you wish had gone differently. Just notice the weight, and with each slow breath, imagine setting it down. Take a long, soft inhale and a gentle exhale. Let the arrows fall. Let the shoulders loosen. Let the mind dim its lights. You are here now, in the safety of this night. There is nothing to solve, nothing to fix, no more arrows to fire. Allow the breath to guide you. Slow, easy, quiet, until sleep finds you like a warm blanket settling over your whole being. Story 32. The Finger, Pointing to the Moon. There is a simple, well-known story in Zen about a teacher who lifts a hand toward the night sky. Students gathered around him look up. Following the line of his finger, the moon glows above, soft as a pearl, floating through the dark. The teacher says, "Do not mistake my finger for the moon. It is a story told many times, but tonight, let it come to you in a softer way. Imagine a quiet field behind a small house, the kind of place where you can smell fresh grass and hear crickets humming in the distance. The teacher stands there, robe rustling in the breeze, pointing upward. The students look at his finger. They want answers, formulas, certainty, something to hold on to, something they can circle with a pen or fit into a schedule. But the teacher keeps pointing. That, he whispers, is what matters. Sometimes in life, we get caught staring at the finger, the plans, the tasks, the small worries, the next step on the list. We focus on the form, the instructions, the expectations, and miss the quiet beauty glowing right above us. Maybe you've felt that this week, rushing from task to task, trying to keep everything afloat, trying to be everything for everyone. Consider this. Maybe your life has been pointing to something gentle, something meaningful, moments of rest, connection, small joys, but you've been too busy watching the finger to notice. As you breathe slowly now, imagine stepping into that quiet field. Imagine lifting your gaze. The moon is there, steady, cool, peaceful. Let your breath match its stillness. Inhale, a soft glow filling you. Exhale, a long sigh releasing the tightness. You don't need to figure anything out tonight. Just feel the quiet moonlight inside your chest and let your whole body soften into sleep. Story 33. The Empty Boat. A man once crossed a wide river in a small wooden boat. The morning fog was thick, the kind that hangs over water like a blanket, hiding everything beyond a few feet. As he rowed, another boat drifted silently toward him. Before he could steer away, it bumped into him with a dull thud. Instantly, he felt anger rise sharp, hot, familiar. He shouted into the fog, "Watch where you're going." But when he looked closer, the boat was empty. And in that moment, something shifted inside him. The anger dissolved, like fog under sunlight. He realized he wasn't angry at a person. He was angry at an idea he had created. Consider how often we bump into empty boats in our own lives. Someone cuts us off in traffic. A coworker's message feels short. A family member forgets something important. We imagine intention. We imagine disrespect. We imagine the worst. But so often, the boat is empty. Tonight, as you lie here, let yourself notice where small frustrations have been clinging to you. Not to judge them, just to see if the boat might be emptier than it seemed. Take a slow breath. Let your chest rise gently, and exhale like a soft breeze drifting over a quiet lake. With each breath, imagine the fog lifting. Imagine the river widening and calming. Imagine the empty boat drifting harmlessly away. Your body can loosen. Your forehead can soften. Your heart can settle into still water, and sleep can begin to ripple gently toward you. Story 34. The sound of one hand. A young monk once asked his teacher, "Master, what is the sound of one hand clapping?" People often hear this koan and think of riddles or puzzles, but it is far softer than that, more like a candle's flame, flickering in a dark room. Imagine the old teacher sitting under a tall pine tree. The needles whisper overhead. Stirred by a gentle wind, the monk kneels before him, eager to understand. Instead of answering, the teacher simply listens to the wind, to the creek nearby, to the breath moving in and out of his own chest. After a long silence, he says, "When you can hear what has no sound, your mind will be free. Consider your own day. How much noise filled it? Emails, devices, conversations, expectations, the internal chatter that never seems to rest. But beneath all that noise, there is a quiet place, a soundless place, a place that feels like the soft hush right before snow begins to fall. As you breathe now, let yourself drift toward that quiet. Inhale gently, exhale even slower. Feel the noise of the day fading like faraway echoes. Feel the silence settling like a blanket around your shoulders. You don't need to solve the koan. Just let your mind grow soft enough to hear the peace waiting inside you, the soundless peace that carries you into sleep. Story 35. The Muddy Road. Two monks, Tanzan and Ekido, were traveling a country road that had turned muddy after heavy rain. Near a village, they came upon a young woman unable to cross the large puddles without sinking into the mud. Tanzan smiled warmly, lifted her onto his back, carried her across, and set her down gently on the dry path. She bowed with gratitude. The monks continued walking. Hours passed. Not a word was spoken, but Ekido's silence grew tight. Finally he said, "We monks are not supposed to touch women." Tanzan looked at him, eyes soft and amused. "I put the woman down hours ago," he said. "Why are you still carrying her? Perhaps you've had moments like that, carrying something long after it ended. A comment, a mistake, a disappointment, a burden that clings, not because it must, but because the mind keeps holding it. As you lie here, notice if something from earlier today, or even years ago, has stayed with you longer than it needs to. Take a slow breath. Feel your chest rise softly. Let it fall like a leaf drifting to the ground. With each exhale, imagine setting down whatever you've been carrying, not pushing it away, just gently placing it beside the road. Your body can grow lighter, your mind can soften, your heart can rest, and the night can carry you gently into sleep. Story 36. The moon cannot be stolen. There was once a Zen master who lived simply in a small hut at the edge of a forest. One night, a thief slipped inside, hoping to find something valuable, but the hut was nearly empty, just a mat, a bowl, and a few worn robes folded neatly. The master returned and saw the thief standing there. With a warm smile, he said, "You have come a long way. You should not leave empty-handed." He handed the thief his worn robes. The thief fled, confused and embarrassed. The master sat outside on a rock, looking at the moon rising above the treetops. "Poor man," he murmured. "If only I could give him this beautiful moon." Consider how often we fear losing something. Time, money, reputation, approval. Yet the things that give life its quiet beauty, like moonlight, kindness, presence, cannot be taken from us. As you settle into bed tonight, imagine the moon hanging above a forest clearing. Let its glow fall gently across your mind. Let it soften every worry about scarcity, about loss, about what might be taken from you. Inhale the cool moonlight. Exhale the tension. Let your whole body shine softly with peace, and drift into the night like the moon floating through the sky. Story 37, The Broken Cup. A Zen teacher once showed his students a small ceramic cup he used every day. Its glaze was worn, chipped in places, but it was sturdy and familiar. He held it up and said, "To me, this cup is already broken." The students looked at him strangely. He smiled, "Because I accept that nothing lasts forever. I can appreciate it fully while I have it." This teaching is shared often in Western Buddhist circles, not to make us sad, but to help us love more deeply. When we accept that moments pass, we treasure them more gently. Perhaps in your own life, you've felt the ache of trying to hold on to something or someone too tightly. A phase of life, a relationship, a routine, an identity, something you hoped would stay the same. Consider this. Nothing has to last forever to be beautiful. As you breathe softly now, let yourself appreciate this moment, this warm bed, this quiet room, this gentle night. You don't need tomorrow to be certain. You don't need everything to stay fixed. Just let your breath flow. Inhale the beauty of this moment. Exhale the fear of its ending. Let your body relax fully into the present, and let sleep come like a soft hand cupping the fragile, lovely cup of this moment. Story 38, The Lute Strings. A monk once asked the Buddha how to find balance in practice, because his mind felt like a storm, too tight, too restless, too full. The Buddha asked him, "When your lute strings are too tight, what happens?" "They break," the monk replied. "And when they are too loose, they do not play. But when they are tuned just right, they make beautiful music." So does your mind, the Buddha said. Tonight, think of your own inner strings. Maybe you've been pulled too tight at work, stretched thin by responsibility, or maybe you've been running on empty, feeling loose, unfocused, drained. Consider this. You don't need to fix anything tonight. You just need to let your inner strings settle. Imagine someone tuning a gentle instrument inside your chest. Each breath loosens tension. Each exhale softens effort. Inhale, just right. Exhale, just enough. Let your breath become the soft music of a perfectly tuned lute. Steady, warm, soothing, carrying you deeper into rest. Story 39, The Farmer's Luck. This is a story you may know, told on porches, in meditation halls, and around kitchen tables. A farmer had one horse. One day, the horse ran away. Neighbors said, "Such bad luck." The farmer shrugged. Maybe yes, maybe no. A week later, the horse returned with 2 wild horses. "Such good luck," the neighbors said. Maybe yes, maybe no. The farmer's son tried to ride one of the wild horses, fell, and broke his leg. "Such bad luck," they said. Maybe yes, maybe no. Soon after, soldiers came to the village to take young men to war. Because of his broken leg, the farmer's son was spared. "Such good luck," the neighbors whispered. The farmer only smiled. In your own life, things may have happened recently that felt like setbacks, disappointments, closed doors. But the story reminds us gently that the full picture takes time to unfold. Tonight, you don't have to judge anything about your life, not your choices, not your path, not your timing. Take a slow breath. Let uncertainty soften. Let the mind loosen its grip on labeling everything as good or bad. Just rest in the quiet, maybe. Rest in the comfort of not needing all the answers tonight. Rest in the gentle trust that things unfold in ways we cannot yet see. Let that trust cradle you as you fall asleep. Story 40. The Buddha and the Angry Man. One day, a man approached the Buddha with anger boiling in his chest. He shouted insults, trying to provoke a reaction. But the Buddha sat quietly, calm as a lake at dawn. When the man ran out of words, the Buddha asked him, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, who does it belong to?" The man paused. "It remains with the giver." "Just so," the Buddha said, "your anger is yours. I do not accept it." Consider how many times today someone else's mood, stress, or sharpness may have brushed against you, maybe at work, maybe at home, maybe while scrolling through messages or emails. Not all of it belongs to you. As you lie here, notice what you might still be carrying that came from someone else's frustration, not your own heart. Take a slow breath in and a long breath out. Imagine returning anything that isn't yours. Imagine your chest growing lighter. Imagine your mind clearing like a lake at sunrise. Let the night show you the freedom of not accepting every burden, every emotion, every sharp word. Allow yourself to rest in your own quiet center, untouched, peaceful, drifting gently into sleep. Story 41. The Raindrop and the Ocean. There is an old story told by monks wandering along the coasts of India, a story later brought gently into American Buddhist circles, about a single raindrop falling from the sky. Imagine it, drifting down through a grey morning, falling softly toward the vast ocean. As it lands, the raindrop hesitates. For a moment, it wonders if it will disappear, if it will lose itself, if it will be swallowed whole. But then something unexpected happens. Instead of vanishing, the raindrop becomes the ocean. It finds that everything it feared was simply a doorway into something larger. Imagine yourself tonight as that raindrop. Your day was full, maybe too full of tasks and calls and messages and errands and worrying about things that may or may not happen, full of small frustrations, the kind that cling to you like humidity on a summer afternoon, full of moments that made you feel alone, even while surrounded by people. But now, you're moving toward rest, toward something bigger than all of that. And you don't have to do anything, nothing needs solving, nothing needs fixing, just a slow, soft surrender. Consider this. The raindrop never failed. It never broke. It simply relaxed into what held it all along. As you breathe gently now, imagine your own edges softening. Inhale, feel yourself floating. Exhale, feel yourself merging with a deep, steady peace. Let your breath become the tide. Let your body become the shoreline. Let the day dissolve, drop by drop, into the calming ocean of night. You are held. You are supported. You are drifting into a vast, quiet rest, where sleep comes like a rising tide. Story 42. The Uncarved Block. In Zen circles, there is a simple metaphor, the uncarved block. It means original nature, the quiet self beneath all the shaping and polishing and effort. But tonight, think of it not as philosophy, but as a piece of warm, solid wood resting in your hands. Imagine a carpenter walking through a forest at dusk. He finds a block of cedar, untouched, smooth, fragrant, glowing amber in the fading light. He sits beside it and smiles, realizing that the beauty of the block is not in what it becomes, but in what it already is. So much of your day might have been spent trying to become something productive, helpful, strong, organized, patient, responsible, trying to keep up, trying to stay afloat, trying to carve yourself into the shape other people need. But here, in this quiet moment, you are the uncarved block. Nothing more is required. Nothing more needs shaping. Take a slow breath. Feel the warmth in your chest, a soft reminder that who you are, right now, is enough. Imagine setting down all your chisels, your striving, your pressure, your expectations. Let the breath smooth you from the inside out. Let the night whisper that you don't need to perform to be worthy of rest. Inhale, simple. Exhale, whole, and feel sleep gently approaching, like a craftsman's cloth brushing over a beloved piece of wood, polishing it without changing it, just letting it be. Story 43. The Old Woman and the Monk. There was once an elderly woman who supported a young monk for years. She provided food, shelter, and warm clothing so he could meditate in the woods undisturbed. One day, she decided to test his understanding. She sent her niece to embrace him, to see whether his heart was truly free. The girl wrapped her arms around the monk. The monk stood stiff as a board and said, "I am a stone cliff. Nothing moves me." When the old woman heard this, she shook her head. All these years, she said, and he has the heart of a frozen rock. She burned down his hut, not in anger, but in the hope he would learn warmth. Consider this. Sometimes we confuse peace with numbness. We think strength means shutting down, pushing through, closing the heart so we don't get hurt. But life moves. People matter. Warmth matters. As you lie here tonight, maybe part of you is still tense, still guarding something, an old disappointment, a long-held fear, a belief that softness will make life hurt more. But not now, not in this room, not in this night. Take a slow breath. Let your chest soften. Let your heart feel warm again, like a small cabin with a quiet fire glowing inside. You don't have to be a stone cliff tonight. Let yourself be human. Let yourself be warm. Let yourself drift into sleep wrapped in gentleness. Story 44. The Tiger and the Strawberry. You may know this one. A traveler fleeing a tiger reaches the edge of a cliff. He climbs down a vine, trying to escape, only to see another tiger waiting below. As he hangs there, a small strawberry grows on the cliffside. The traveler plucks it. He tastes it, and it is the sweetest strawberry he has ever known. People often interpret this story differently, but tonight, let it feel like a soft reminder that even in stressful days, small sweetness still appears. Maybe today held its own tiger's deadlines, arguments, worries, moments when you felt squeezed between pressures. But maybe there were strawberries, 2 tiny pockets of sweetness you might have missed, a kind word, a warm drink, a moment of laughter, a brief pause between everything else. Consider letting your breath become that strawberry, small, simple, unexpectedly sweet. Inhale gently. Exhale slowly. Let the simple act of breathing become enough. You don't need to fight the tigers tonight. You don't need to climb anywhere. Just rest. Just sip the sweetness of the breath. Let it loosen your grip on the vine. Let sleep rise up to catch you softly. Story 45. The Fisherman's Net. A fisherman once mended his net slowly at the edge of a quiet shore. He worked by lantern light, waves whispering beside him. A scholar walked by and asked, "Why do you work so patiently? Aren't you busy? Don't you have more to do?" The fisherman smiled. "If the net has holes, the fish escape. If my mind has holes, peace escapes." Tonight, think of the holes in your own net, the little rips that let calm slip away, the unfinished tasks, the replayed conversations, the imagined futures, the worries that slip in like cold wind through cracks in a window. You don't need to mend the whole net tonight. Just one small stitch at a time, one slow breath, one soft letting go. Imagine sitting beside that fisherman, lantern flickering. He hands you a needle and thread. You mend a tiny tear in your own thoughts, just by breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, exhale. The waves wash against the shore, steady, dependable. Your breath follows their rhythm, and slowly, gently, the holes close, and sleep drifts toward you like a calm tide returning home. Story 46. The Temple Bell. In a small mountain village, there was a temple with a great bronze bell. People said that when struck, its sound could carry across valleys, calming everyone who heard it. One winter, the bell cracked. Villagers feared its voice was gone forever. But when a monk struck it again, the note that rang out was softer, deeper, more tender than before, like a voice that had learned something through the crack. Tonight, consider your own cracks, the places where life has worn you down a bit, where the day's demands bent you farther than you wanted to go. Maybe those places feel tender. Maybe they feel like weaknesses. But sometimes, the cracks let a deeper music emerge. Take a soft breath in and a long breath out. Imagine being that great bell. No need to be perfect. No need to be flawless. Just resonant, honest, human. Let your breath vibrate through the cracks. Let it soothe everything inside you. Let the night hear your quiet song and cradle you towards sleep. Story 47. The Candle in the Wind. A monk once carried a candle through a forest at night. A student followed him, worried it might blow out. The wind rose slightly, and the student hurried to shield the flame. The monk stopped and smiled. "The candle's purpose is not to avoid the wind," he said. "It is to shine while it can." Consider how often today you try to shield your flame, your energy, your patience, your hope from the winds of busyness and stress. Perhaps you felt the flame flicker. Perhaps you worried it might go out. But here you are, still shining, still warm enough to see the path ahead. As you rest tonight, let the breath steady your flame. Inhale, soft glow. Exhale, gentle steadiness. Let your body melt into the mattress. Let the wind quiet. Let the flame burn softly, peacefully, until sleep covers it with the calm of night. Story 48. The leaf in the stream. There is an old Zen image of placing a leaf in a flowing stream. The leaf does not cling. It does not resist. It simply floats with the current. Imagine you are sitting beside such a stream, clear water moving over smooth stones, cool air brushing your cheeks. You place a small leaf on the surface and watch it drift, gently, effortlessly. Now imagine that leaf is your day. Everything that happened, everything you carried, everything you feared or hoped or tried to control. Just place it on the water. Watch it drift away from you. You might feel a soft loosening inside your chest, a sense of relief, a sense of release. Take a slow breath in and exhale like the stream flowing out of sight. Let the current take the weight of the day. Let the night become the water you float upon. Let sleep carry you the way the stream carries the leaf, without effort, without force, without worry. Just drifting, softly, into rest. Story 49. The Hermit and the Birdsong. A hermit lived alone on a mountainside, surrounded by pine trees and long stretches of silence. One morning, he awoke troubled, unable to meditate, mind churning like a restless sky before a storm. Then he heard a bird singing, a single, simple melody echoing through the trees. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't practiced, it was just honest. The hermit closed his eyes and let the sound wash over him, and suddenly, peace returned, not because he forced it, but because he stopped trying so hard. Consider this tonight. Maybe you've tried so hard today, tried to stay patient, tried to stay organized, tried to stay strong. But peace doesn't always come through effort. Sometimes it comes through listening. As you breathe, imagine a small bird singing outside your window, just a quiet, steady tune. Let the song settle into your breath. Let it soften the space behind your eyes. Let it lull the mind into stillness. And let sleep come like a gentle birdsong carrying you into the soft arms of night. Story 50. The bamboo bends. In a storm, the tall oak often breaks, but the bamboo bends. This teaching is centuries old, carried across cultures, sung in poems, whispered in meditation halls. Tonight, imagine a grove of bamboo, swaying in a gentle breeze. They do not resist, they do not stiffen, they move with the wind. Maybe today brought its own winds, news you didn't expect, responsibilities you weren't ready for, moments that pushed you harder than you wanted. But here, in this quiet night, you can bend, you can soften, you can sway without breaking. Take a deep, slow breath and feel your spine loosen like bamboo bending gently. Exhale and feel tension leaving your shoulders. Let the winds of the day pass through you without clinging. Let the breath guide you toward the soft earth beneath you. Let your whole body become flexible, relaxed, peaceful, and allow yourself to drift into sleep, bending with the quiet rhythm of the night, unbroken, unburdened, held by the gentle wind. Let's drift gently into the closing of this long, quiet journey together. Take your time as you read. Let the words come slowly, like lanterns floating down a dark river. Nothing to hold, nothing to solve, just a soft settling, a gentle end. You've traveled far tonight, even without moving, through stories, through breath, through the quiet spaces inside yourself. Perhaps you notice something shift, not loudly, not dramatically, but the way a small leaf turns toward evening light, or the way the tide eases back into the sea without ever announcing it is going. Things unfold in their own rhythm. Things find their place, sometimes only when we stop trying to force them. And maybe, somewhere along the way, you felt it, that deep, steady knowing beneath all the noise, the part of you that understands that even when life feels tangled or uncertain, there is a current that carries you, a current that has been carrying you all along. You don't have to name it. You don't have to understand it. Just rest inside the feeling of being held by something larger, something patient, something ancient. Let the breath soften again. Let the belly rise gently, fall gently. No effort now. No shaping, no guiding, no perfecting. Just the natural rhythm that has been with you since the beginning. Imagine that breath as a soft tide coming to shore. Each inhale, a wave arriving, with cool moonlit water touching warm sands. Each exhale, the tide slipping away, in complete trust that it will return. You might notice your body sinking a little deeper, shoulders loosening, jaw relaxing, hands growing soft and warm. Your whole being letting go of the weight it carried today. The questions, the decisions, the stories the mind kept spinning, they're drifting away now, like feathers caught in a slow breeze. You don't need any of them tonight. If a thought rises, let it float. If a memory appears, let it pass. You don't need to follow anything. Everything can fall back into the quiet, as naturally as autumn leaves falling to earth. There is nothing left to do. Nothing left to fix, nothing left to prove. This moment is enough. You are enough. Your breath is enough. Feel the room around you growing softer, as if wrapped in a gentle dusk blue mist. The air warm and still, a safe cocoon of quiet, a sanctuary built just for you. And in that sanctuary, imagine a small light, a candle placed on a wooden table at the center of your heart. Its flame steady, calm, unwavering, not bright or demanding, just a warm glow that whispers, "I'm here," even in the dark, even in uncertainty. I am here. Let that flame guide the rest of you into stillness. Let it remind you that what matters never disappears. It only settles deeper. As the body sinks, as the mind softens, you might sense a feeling of being gently carried, like resting on a quiet porch in the evening, wrapped in a soft blanket, listening to the hum of distant crickets and the patient turning of the earth. Everything slows, everything loosens, everything becomes simple. It's okay to let go now. It's okay to stop thinking. It's okay to drift. The night knows what to do. Your breath knows what to do. Your heart knows what to do. You've done enough for one day, more than enough. And as you float towards sleep, remember not with your mind, but with your heart, that life has a way of revealing meaning in moments we least expect, the way stars appear only when the sky is dark enough, the way answers rise when we stop demanding them, the way paths clear when we soften our steps. You don't need to force anything tonight. You don't need to know anything tonight. You don't need to understand anything tonight. Just rest in the rhythm of the universe breathing with you. Gentle, patient, certain. Let the eyelids grow heavy. Let the breath grow slow. Let the body become weightless, like drifting through warm water, like being rocked by the wide, quiet ocean of night. Let sleep come the way morning mist rolls across a still lake, soft, silent, inevitable. There is nothing more to hear, nothing more to say, only the quiet, only the softness, only the peace waiting under every breath. Drift, now, slowly, gently, as the world fades into silence and the night carries you home. Good night.